A one-day check shows drivers in our state who don't pay attention to the rules when a school bus makes a stop.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live in Buncombe County. Victoria, drivers are in for a big reminder to not ignore school bus stop arms.
They certainly are. In fact, all this week, there is going to be an increased patrol element out there following the school buses, watching to make sure we obey the rules of the road. We all know that we're supposed to stop and pay attention when the buses have their big lights on and stuff. It's hard, you would think, to be missing out something this big, this bright yellow, big flashing lights and a stop arm. But we've seen with some video here that it does happen. And this is what we're talking about. Just a one-day check. So this is just maybe, you know, a kind of a snapshot of what's going on every day. More than 2,400 cars passed stopped school buses in our state. This was from just this past spring. So that is part of the reason why Operation Stop Arm is taking effect in this week. What's going to happen is state troopers will be out there patrolling. They'll be along the routes following the buses in marked and unmarked cars. If you pass, you're going to get stopped. You're going to get cited for this. And the idea is to make sure we understand how important it is for us to obey these rules. When the buses stop, kids are getting on and off. You may not be able to see the child, but you never know if you think, oh, you're running late and you got to make it around that bus, and then tragedy strikes. It's just not worth it. Be patient, follow the rules, or else you're going to pay the price. In fact, coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to let you know just how steep of a price you will pay for not obeying the rules and passing a stopped school bus. Reporting live in Buncombe County, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Well, despite the signals and warnings, drivers still ignore the law and pass stopped school buses.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live in Buncombe County with a look at just how many people are putting kids at risk and the effort to crack down on these dangerous drivers. Vic?
You know, what they did, Jay and Holly's, they took one day last spring and they had bus drivers all across the state. Some of these buses are equipped with cameras and so on, and they had them record how many people passed the buses when they were stopped. And in one day alone, more than 2,400 people passed stopped school buses with their stop arms out, the lights flashing. And you really need to know the rules of the road so that you're keeping the kids safe. And in order to do that, we're going to see something called Operation Stop Arm. It's going to start in about a half hour or so. And what it is the state troopers are going to be out there with the school buses, taking a look as the people are driving and making sure we follow the rules. And, you know, there's differences on the different types of roads and so on, and some people may say be a little confusing for them. No problem. There's a great website link, and in fact I asked our producers to hook us up with that at our website, WLOS.com. Click on more info, and it tells you what the rules are on a 2-lane highway, 4-lane highway, divided and so on, so you know what the rules are, because in a split second you could be the one who thinks you can get past that school bus before the kids come across, and next thing you know there's a child in front of you. We've seen it happen all too often, and it's just not worth it. So be careful, because the state troopers will be out there all week long, and if you get busted, it's 5 points on your license and up to $200 fine. And if for some reason you would hit a child, that bumps it from a misdemeanor into a felony, and the game changes completely. Coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to break it down and let you know just how many people were caught passing buses in our area of the state. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Hundreds of people are ignoring the law and blowing past stopped school buses. News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live in Buncombe County, where a special effort to stop these dangerous drivers just started. Good morning, Vic. Tell us about it.
Well, good morning. You know, Operation Stop Arm started at 6 o'clock this morning, and what that is state troopers in marked and unmarked cars riding along with buses on their routes throughout the week. And the idea is to catch people who are ignoring the law. And you would think it would be hard to ignore a big yellow bus with the warning lights on and the stop arm out. But get this, in a one-day check last spring, this was one day out of the whole school year, school bus drivers across the state counted more than 2,400 people driving past the stopped buses with the signals out. I broke it down, found the numbers for our area here in western North Carolina. It was 149 vehicles going past school buses that were stopped in that one day. So it makes you think about, if you're thinking, you know, every single day these kids are out there, this is very serious, because in a split second a child can be doing what he or she is allowed to do with that stopped bus and crossing the road. And let me tell you, this is serious. If you end up getting caught doing this during this Operation Stop Arm event, it is a 5-point hit to your license plus about $200 in fines. And if, God forbid, you hit a child, that bumps this from a misdemeanor violation up to a felony, and the game changes dramatically for you. Again, this is going to be going on from 6 a.m. Every day this week during the school bus routes. They're going to be out there, state troopers. You're going to know some of them because they'll be on the marked cars. Others will be unmarked cars. Basically, the simple thing to do is figure out what the rules are and follow them. We have a link for you, WLOS.com. Shows you exactly how the rules play out, when you need to stop on 2-lane, 4-lane, divided highways, and so on. So you'll have the information you need to play it safe and keep our kids safe as well. Reporting live in Buncombe County, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
On any given day, hundreds of drivers are ignoring the warning signals and passing stopped school buses.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is streaming live in Buncombe County this morning. Victoria, what is the plan to get these dangerous drivers to follow the rules?
Well, it is to have state troopers out there riding along, trailing the buses, being out along the bus routes, and watching for people who don't stop when the buses have their stop arms out, the warning signals on, and so on. I want to give you a quick look at some of the numbers here. Last spring, they did a one-day check. So this was just one random day out of the school year. And in the state of North Carolina, they found more than 2,400 people passing stopped school buses. I kind of ran the numbers for Western North Carolina, almost 150 people. And this was vehicles that went past the buses on that one day. And here are a few things you need to keep in mind when you're out there on the roads and you do see the buses. Now, a moment ago, they showed you in our surf, the website that I found that explains the rules for the different types of roads. But basically, if you are following a school bus and it puts out its signs and its signals that it is stopping, you had better not pass that bus. And the reason is you're going to get 5 points on your license, and you're going to have to face up to $200 in fines if you're caught. And that's not all. If for some reason, God forbid, you were to hit a child in that situation, it goes from being a misdemeanor violation up to a felony. And of course, that changes all of the rules as far as that goes. The penalties change dramatically at that point. You don't want to be the person who does this. I mean, in a split second, everything can change. And our kids need to be able to realize and be feeling safe that they're able to get on and off these buses as they're heading to school. So remember, Operation Stop Arm goes on all week long. Started at 6 o'clock this morning. You'll see state troopers in marked cars, and there'll be some out there in unmarked cars working hard to make sure all the kids stay safe by making sure all drivers follow the rules. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.